thoughts on that one?
Oh, heartbreaking. You know, we play against two really good teams this weekend, Adelaide and Sydney, and have two overtime games, and you know, felt we made improvements. You know, a bit of a shock to us, Jesse, after finishing the game, to wake up this morning and understand that you know, the eye was a little bit worse than we thought. And then there's kind of two stats in the game to say, all right, Jesse's percentage-wise is the best rebounder in the league. How are we going to cover for that? And, you know, Fab was amazing all game. Finn was amazing in the way. And to win the boards by 20 was not a stat that I was thinking. It was more about how do we really compete in that area. And then to go 3.6% from the three-point line was not a stat that I was thinking I was going to see at the end of the game as well. So, you know, there's this part of me, it's like we thought we've played 13 minutes with a full roster the whole year. And so walking into this one, I was like, oh, we're going home, we're going to have a full roster, and we're going to try and, you know, sort everybody's, you know, roles out a little bit by having this full roster. And so we haven't got there yet. I'm looking forward to at some point where we can get everybody on the floor.
Talk about those stats, points in the paint, rebounds, win both of them comprehensively. What do you put the game down to? Where did it go wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously we couldn't make a shot, and so, you know, I think we statted it that we created of the 20, what did we shoot, 28 threes, of the 28, you know, 13 were totally uncontested, and so you would hope even a 30% mark of uncontested threes you think you would make. Now, he gives Sydney massive credit. The defense that they played in the fourth quarter and overtime, the physicality, the switching, you know, we didn't create many good looks down the stretch. And so that's a massive work on for us, both in the Adelaide game and this game, just a closing package against elite defence. You know, what are the shots that we're going to create, and what are the shots we're going to live with, and we just weren't sharp enough in that area today.
Dean, you obviously had a very long weekend. You had an overtime against Adelaide, had to travel back down here, now play another overtime. What do the next few days look like for your guys to try and get back into, you know, playing shape? Because I can imagine they'd be exhausted right now.
Yeah, we played people a lot of minutes. You know, the overtimes, you know, puts a little bit on it. And, you know, Shea Illy's return to the team and Tyson, and you know, it was kind of like, well, can we get these extra minutes? But we took care of them. They got through it, which is important. So yeah, we take tomorrow off, which is well needed, and obviously we want a contact session on Tuesday leading into Thursday. But we'll just see how all the bodies are. There may be some people getting to a small amount of contact, and some people do a little bit more.
Milton Doyle, he was quite impressive, especially in that last quarter. What did you make of his game, and, you know, also perhaps a comment on him at the free throw line at the end, and probably the struggles for the whole team through that period where the scoring was quite low in overtime? Yeah,
I've kind of talked about it a little bit about, you know, give Sydney a lot of credit for the defence that they played, and so we've just got to, you know, be better through that period. And, you know, a lot of switching. Can you try and confuse the switching? There's obviously, you know, some stuff to say. There's some guys you want to target one-on-one if you can get the right switch. And so, you know, did we create those opportunities to attack them? Yeah, you know, Milt was the only guy that made a three for us. But yeah, you know, him at the line, end of the game, trust him 100% to knock in, you know, 2 at the end of the game. And he probably won't miss one of those situations again. So put it as a little blemish and move on.
Just quickly with the rotations, Tom Coppins, he started 2 games ago. He had a really big job against Bryce, paced 2 minutes 20 today. Dash only sees him out 7 minutes. Is that just matchups or a bit of tightening of the rotation this close?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, with the 2 point guards, you know, with Shea and Tyson back, it was we really gave them the task of Davis today. Yeah, and then I really wanted to get, you know, Milt some rest. I think I played him, you know, the whole second half, and Dash was kind of relieving him. I thought there was moments I wanted to get him out, and then he'd make plays, and it was like it's not the right time to do that. So, you know, consistently, I want to continue to play Dash more. You know, Tom Coppins played, as that third guy on Bryce the other night, and then we have a big go down, so he moves into the big rotation, and I was ready to put him back out there, but I just thought Fab and Finn were, they looked gassed at different times, but I thought timeouts and stoppages in play, there was enough recovery time for them to keep going.
Hey Dean, the Kings win, a big narrative, and that's probably going to be Kendrick Davis and his performance, but especially in that fourth quarter, to see the way that Daly was able to continually get him open, was relentless on defense. You guys had nearly double the amount of turnovers and what they did, and Daly was keen a few of those. I guess, anything to say on that, and is it annoying seeing Daly in a purple and gold singlet usually?
Not at all. Like anyone that plays for our club and, competes for us for championships, and, love the relationships I've had with those guys. And, McQuatch played for us, and he gives me a big hug before the game. And, Daly played for us. And I want to see players do well when they leave us. I want to see their careers flourish, and I want to see them do well. Obviously, when we play against each other, we compete and we battle, but, he's, CG loved in those moments where Daly creates a screening angle or does something that, gets people open shots, and he's a lead at it. And he's doing a good job working with Kendrick to create great shots for him.
How are you feeling right now? Obviously, I was thinking about the long weekend, the amount of minutes you guys have played. But you played nearly 39 minutes tonight in a 40-minute league that's basically unheard of. How's your body feeling right now after so many minutes?
I was talking to the physio before. I feel pretty decent. I think when the games are like that, you're just kind of, the adrenaline and getting through play by play. And as Dean said, the ways the stoppages and things and timeouts worked out, like especially in that second half, didn't really feel too cooked. And kind of as the game went, you always want to give yourself every opportunity to be involved and make plays. But on the other side of it, it's frustrating. Like, we did a lot of really good things today, but spoke about it a bit, but 1 of 28 is tough. You wouldn't have guessed we'd be in that situation shooting like that, but we still gave ourselves every opportunity to win the game. But that and taking care of the ball, I think hurt us down the stretch. And as Dean said, we'll look at it and what can we do better? How can we put ourselves in better situations? But feeling frustrated, but these last 2 games were a lot better than the previous 2. I think a lot of good things that we can fall back on and take into the next game, because this league game just comes so quickly, you can't really get too caught up in what's going on. So just need to do whatever we can to best prepare, and looking forward to Thursday.
You had some big moments today. You put your team up by 7, 5 minutes and 32 seconds to play. Then at 3/4 time, you got that offensive rebound and put yourself ahead in your team. You must take a lot of confidence from today's performance for yourself, a double-double.
Yeah, I just, when I'm out in the corner, I'm always trying to, put myself in the right positions. I'm never really trying to demand the ball and do anything crazy like that. I understand my role, and I think the way things just worked out, found myself in a couple of good positions to get, as you said, some putbacks and finishing my free throws and little things like that. But felt good out there. But as I said, come to the team performance is a little bit sour, the way the game worked out. But got to be able to take what you can, and as I said, go forward to Thursday, and we'll be feeling good going to that one.
Dino, last one from me. I'm always blown away by your demeanour. You managed to never get rattled too much, but 4 straight losses now. Is there danger signs, or are you a little bit concerned at all?
No, I was concerned after the Perth and South East game. I thought we lacked just an intensity to really compete at this level, and for whatever reason, we found that again. We haven't got the total synergy back with the group, and but we're making winning efforts. And so I coached those first 2 games a little bit angry, just because that's not going to get you wins. And so these last 2 games, I'm still frustrated by referees' calls, or frustrated by some plays a little bit. I felt really positive about the last 2 games coaching them, because I know the things that we're doing are going to be sustainable to for the end of the year. And we've been through patches like this before. and the work ons, what you come out the other side makes you a way better team. If you don't have these little points of adversity like we didn't so much in the first half of the year, you're just cruising along, and then you hit that little hiccup. So we've had our hiccup right now, and we've just got to get over the line.
Thank you, guys.